And then like literally within the first like 2.5 minutes of the first episode, he has crawled into a creature to tickle something and grab something and fondle something else. Hey. Don't judge this guy.
Exactly what he did.
That's he did
go back and watch.
He licked his fingers.
Now that's the planet I want to go to. Yeah.
All the pinching and tickling you can do it. Yeah.
This is Geek Off The Street, your go-to channel for all things from obscure geekdom to modern-day pop culture and everything else in between.
What's up, everybody?
Hello.
We are back. Yeah, did you hear that?
What? Wait. One more time.
How's it going?
Oh, that's a different voice if you guys didn't get it. Because my name's Trent.
And my name is Mark.
And I'm David.
That's David.
Yes,
This is
the Geek Off The Street.
Greatest podcast all time. Talk about geek culture, pop culture,
Right.
whatever else we want.
Deal with it.
This week is no exception because our friend David here, Dr. David.
I was going to say,
say
you call him Dr. Jones.
You
Or
call
Dr. David. Dr. David. You call him Dr. David.
That's cool. I'll take it.
Yeah. Dr. David shot us a message and asked us to cover Scavenger's Reign,
Right.
which is a sci-fi show, animated show on
HBO Max.
Well, now it's Max, I guess.
Oh, yes.
whatever.
My bad.
Sorry,
Great
HBO.
exalted one.
Yeah, but great sci-fi show, and so we were just like, oh, well, why don't you come talk about it? And he's here.
Just like that.
Now, yeah,
Just like
coming on
that.
the show, man. But that's the story. It's an exciting story. Right?
Yeah.
How we got David on the show.
Nice and simple.
But yeah, so we're gonna cover that show. Before we get into that, though, what are we drinking this week? Is the first segment.
Yes.
I guess I'll cover it. We're drinking what's called the Alien Secretion. I'll put the link in the show notes, but it has a little bit of coconut rum, Midori, vodka, and pineapple juice. Yeah, nice little fruity drink.
Cheers.
Don't worry about the name of the drink because it's weird.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, definitely tasty. Got some flavors in there. I don't know why I always choose things with melon and pineapple juice.
Yeah, those are like two things you say you hate.
that I'm not a fan of in cocktails. Yeah, but I need something green, I guess.
This guy.
Yeah.
Like hurting yourself.
Yeah, but
Yeah, we're
glutton
not.
for punishment, I guess. Yeah.
That makes sense too.
But yeah, so we got David on the show this week, as we were saying a second ago. David's a buddy of mine. We've known each other for a long time.
That's very cool.
Yeah, freshman year in high school. Actually, summer football before we went into freshman year, right? Yeah, so we met. So we've known each other for a long time. And he's a doctor now.
Have you guys been in touch the whole time, or kind of fell out of touch a little bit, or
Off and on. Off and on relationship.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
Relationship. On again, off again. Yeah. We talked. We were really
You
good
guys
friends.
hold hands in a minute.
Like really good friends in high school, and then college we went to different colleges. Real Seth and Evan situation, like super bad. Went to different colleges. Didn't have a lot of didn't spend a lot of time together. But we've been out. We talk here and there.
Right on. That's
And
cool.
then I started going to David's chiropractic practice, Skane chiropractic.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Here in Riverside.
You're right here.
Oh,
in
there you
Riverside.
go. There
He's
you
got
go.
his own practice. We'll just do the shout out now.
Yeah.
Yeah, because David is a chiropractor. He has his own practice here in Riverside, and it is awesome. Everything will be in the show notes. Great rates, man. I can afford it, and I'm broke all the time, so I can afford to go to see David.
Nice.
Thanks, man.
Nice.
Yeah, it's
He's
great
here for
work.
the people.
Yeah. I mean, I've only seen 2 chiropractors. You're one of them, one of the 2 in my life, but definitely the better of the 2.
Appreciate
Not
it.
just
Thank
saying
you.
that. So yeah, if you guys need to get some adjustments taken care of, I know I got back problems, so yeah,
Thank you.
David will straighten you out.
Do my best.
Yeah,
No
cool,
people's
man.
elbow.
Which was my recommendation.
Yeah, that's what-
but you're
yeah.
the professional. If you don't think it works,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
what do
Okay.
I know? What do I know?
Go to YouTube University. Learned all my moves from there.
Yeah, YouTube.
Just a couple of random shout outs. I talked to Vince the other day. Vince came on to talk with Dune.
Yes,
He's
nice.
excited because March, I think 4th, Dune Part 2 is coming out.
Awesome.
Super excited for that. The first one was great.
Yeah, very
Can't
good,
wait
very
for
good.
this next one to come out, and we're gonna have Vince on to talk about that. And then we're also trying to hang out before then because he wants to catch up a little bit. But Vince,
Right on.
thank you, man. He watches all of our reels, likes everything. So thanks, dude. Really appreciate
Appreciate
it.
you, brother.
I also want to shout out to the Z Daughter of Light. She followed us recently, and she's been commenting on all of our reels since. She has
Interesting.
her own podcast
Okay.
called the oh man, what is it? Paranormal Insight, I think it's called.
Really?
They do like some paranormal stuff,
Interesting.
and then I might connect her with
Henry.
Yeah, it might be a good
100%.
connection. So she does like paranormal stuff, some UFO stuff. I'm into that, and then some other kind of things. So yeah, so thanks for checking us out. I think Zoe Quinn is her name. So thanks for following us. Thanks for checking us out. You're the best. Your show is awesome. Also, who else followed us? Helios Boy, thank you for following us. And that's it. Thanks for checking us out.
Sweet.
And if you guys want to get your own shout out, check us out at the Gots Pod on everything. And also, we're at Geek Off the Street on YouTube and Facebook. There's nowhere you can't find us, basically, at this point. I'll even give you the address to the studio. You guys can come find us here.
That's a what?
Whenever you want.
Well, we'll talk about that.
though.
Dude, we guys gotta say it because me and David got here 7:30 sharp.
Right.
We didn't get inside the
Right.
studio.
And I was ready to rock and roll at 8. So a little bit different. Yeah.
A little different time there. Yeah,
You may show up here.
Yeah.
There's no guarantee you're getting in.
So me and David got to catch a little bit in the parking lot, the studio, and then
And I think I walked outside and I paused. Not outside, obviously,
Yeah.
but in the house, I was downstairs and I walked out and I paused because is the TV on? Like, why am I hearing voices? And I was like, I bet I know what's going on. Look at this guy.
Hooligans out here. And then literally when you walked in front of the door, Dave was like climbing on the door. Climbing on the door.
Right when I get in front of the door, I see this guy. Like, what's happening right now?
Dave's not small. Dave's not short. He's not a short dude.
Right.
Yeah. So he thought behind the door. Yeah. But yeah, good time.
That was perfect timing.
Yeah, that was great.
perfect
It's great. Well timed. Very well timed. All right, so before we get into the meat of this show, as we usually do with our guests, we just like to shoot the shit a little bit about geek culture in general. Sure. Having trouble finding the list of what I sent you. I should know this by heart. But so the first thing we talk about is just geek culture in general. So we haven't really talked much since our old days, and I don't really remember what you were into geek wise. Sure. But what's your geek cred, or what's like your connection to geek culture, if you have any interest?
Definitely a lot of interest. My knowledge probably a little bit more limited, but follow a lot of anime these days. Marvel, a little bit of DC. Okay. Wish I read more comic books growing up now that I've gotten more into it. But I mean, pretty mainstream anime stuff. Jujutsu Kaisen, watching that right now.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Solid,
when do you think you started? Like, did you like really get into like geek culture like when you were older, like a teenager, like a kid?
I mean, like a little bit. I'd always wake up early and watch Inuyasha growing up.
Yeah.
You know,
Nice. Classic.
And then I mean Dragon Ball Z, of course. But I didn't like really dive into it because I mean probably when streaming blew up, and then there was just so much bigger library and I could access it a lot more.
Yeah.
And then Full Metal Alchemist, that was probably like the one where I just like really dove in. The first
That's a good one to dive in.
And just kind of probably blew up from there.
Yeah. You got a favorite or like a
I probably will still say my favorite's probably Full Metal Alchemist, and it's hard for me to say the first one or Brotherhood, but because both are so good in their own way.
Yeah, I was like when they both kind of split it very specifically midway through, or maybe about midway through, right? They kind of take their own route,
something like that.
And they're both very interesting takes.
Yeah. Because the first one, I mean, the whole like them having to like deal with them creating their mother almost in a sense of the homunculus was, I mean, just what a trip. But the Brotherhood, I don't know. I probably watched that a little bit more, rewatched it a little bit more. But movies from like them doing the first one were also great too.
Oh yeah. No, fantastic, man. I love Full Metal. That's probably my top favorite anime, I think, still.
100%. I think it is for a lot of people. So
respectable. Yeah, most definitely. Cool. All right, I guess we can get into the show then. You have any questions you wanted to throw out there?
Okay. So you're into anime. Is there anything else you're into really quick? Like, are you into sci-fi, fantasy, or just mostly anime? Or
I mean, I'll watch mostly anything, honestly. I have no like limits in that sense, but probably more anime than anything at this point.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. So actually, that's a good question because like, what brought you into Scavenger's Reign? What caught you there?
I think I just honestly caught it randomly, and then I I saw like their first. I don't know if you caught their first short film that they
Scavenger.
based.
Yeah, Scavenger.
that
I
they
watched
based
that
it off
today.
of.
Yeah.
I mean, not the greatest animation, but just really cool. And I think it kind of sums up a lot of what they were trying to tell with this whole series too. But just on Max, looking for new shows, and it popped up and recommended.
Nice.
So.
Yeah, I added it to my list, but I hadn't gotten around to watching it until you mentioned it.
Yeah, I'm the exact same way. Yeah, it popped up on my list. I saw it. I get like a clip of it, thumbnail, whatever, and I'm like, oh, that looks very cool.
Yeah.
Let me lock
Sci-fi
that down.
animation.
And then it just,
And I usually like that animation studio. They come up with some pretty good stuff. So
that's a Titmouse or something. Yeah. I don't know if I guess I can't name it off the top of my head, but I know I've heard that.
Yeah,
definitely.
You'll
If
see
you're watching Adult Swim.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what it is. Yeah.
And if it could have been, I think, good on Adult Swim, but I think it being on Max, like, and not being censored in any way, was perfect.
Yeah, definitely added more to that the danger and all that kind of stuff. In the world.
I think it has a bigger audience if it's on Max.
Yeah.
Hopefully, probably. And I don't know how serious, unfortunately, how serious some people might take it if it is on Adult Swim. Right? They might see, oh, it's a cartoon, it's this, it's that, blah blah blah. But it's actually it's a good story, great animation, it's great science fiction.
Very mature.
It is 100%.
True.
Yeah.
No, I'll actually say that. That's funny you guys brought that up because I actually when I started the first episode, I was like, this looks like one of those comedy Adult Swim shows. So maybe
because it's so simplistic. Or whatever,
because of the style of it. And I was like, oh, maybe so if it would have been on Adult Swim, it probably would have been hard to separate that. So maybe people would be turned off by the first episode or something or whatever. But I mean, after you get into it, it's very clear what it is. But yeah. Nice, man. Cool. Let's get into the show then, I guess.
Let's do that.
So again, we're talking about Scavenger's Reign. It's a 12-episode show, animated series on Max. It's about these space colonists that crash land essentially on a planet and have to adapt and survive. Some of them are trying to figure it out. I guess they're trying to get home. But yeah, it's a pretty intense, and this world is super rich, man. It's really the world building.
Definitely the best thing about it.
Is fantastic. Yeah, in the show, and you just basically follow these three separate.
Parties essentially.
Parties that are as a result of this crash trying to navigate
their way home. Yeah, they're trying to get to a ship that's been called down that they can get to, so they can get supplies, get medicine, and get out of there.
Yeah, but the journey back to that ship is harrowing, to say the least. Yeah, so let's get right into it. What are our positives about the show?
Well, I'm going to go with the obvious one. The animation is it's very good. It is very simple, right? Like the way the character designs and all that kind of stuff is very basic. Yeah. But the artwork is still very rich. It's still very engaging. Yeah. It feels like a lot of attention went to it. You know what I mean? Which is very cool. And compared to, we were just talking about Scavengers, the 2016 short that they made. With that one, the artwork in there looks pretty simple. Yeah. But and then this one, it's still kind of the same. It's almost kind of reminiscent of like, I feel like there were like old like comics like back in the day that kind of had that kind of art style. If there was some sort of artsy animation thing going on, that was the kind of style they would use, So it is, but while it is very simple, it is very rich and very detailed.
Yeah, very distinct.
So it is very impressive.
Yeah. No, definitely. Yeah, I agree 100%. Because like, even as simplistic as the I guess you call them the drawings of the characters.
Yeah, the character designs were very simple.
Yeah, the voice acting was great, and also with the creatures and the plants, the foliage, or really everything that's alive on this planet.
And they had to go 100% on that stuff.
Yeah, especially after like watching the Scavenger. I watched Scavengers today, the short, and I saw how it really like.
Oh yeah, big time. Yeah.
And you see a lot of like other influences, like some Miyazaki stuff, maybe, or there's another animation that they talked about who they're inspired by. But you see a lot of influences in there.
Yeah. Who was it? They talked about Miyazaki, and I can't remember.
Like one other person they said they're inspired by, but I can't remember.
On it too.
Yeah, but
2016.
Yeah, but it
reminded me. Well, there was one particular part anyway that it made me instantly think of Akira.
That's what it was. It was Akira. Was the other one they were talking about? Yeah. The creator stopped on Akira.
I did it. Good night, everybody.
Played my part. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that one part where, well, I think it was the first episode where they're trying not to breathe. They go into this cavern with mushrooms, and they're trying. Mushrooms.
That's an inside joke.
Yeah, you can't figure it out.
Yeah.
Mind your own business. But and her guts.
Yeah, just spill out.
It reminded me a lot of Akira in that moment.
Oh yeah.
Just how like everything just stuff erupting kind of thing out of nowhere. It just reminded me of that in that quick moment.
Yeah.
But
it's very visceral though. It really shows you that immediately shows you like what to expect from this show. It's like, oh man, that's pretty crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, no, that's definitely awesome. But any other positive you got, David?
I mean, you hit it. I mean, the voice acting really drew me in. I don't know. I really honestly fell in love with the show. And I don't know, this like how dangerous the world is, how fragile we really are, especially in a new environment like that. So
what I like, I mean, so many things about this. I mean, first off, the show is just phenomenal, man. This is tried and true sci-fi. There's nothing like this show. I think I don't think I've ever seen anything that's anything like this show. Like no way. And the storyline was great. The characters were great. The world, man, the world building for this entire show was amazing. Like I loved how they had to do like certain like a sequence of things to get one thing, you know, the different like how different things affect other things, and I think that was really playing into like this symbiotic relationship on this world with everything on here.
Right.
Even when you come to find like later on, like even like came in that creature, there's a relationship there. Like that creature becomes more human like really because he's influenced by Cayman's thoughts, but also the robot kind of becomes like more like the planet, but it's an artificial thing. So it's kind of there's like a balance on this world that's like completely like continuously strike. I mean, sometimes it'll like go one way or the other, but the balance is still always there, you know. And that was really interesting the way they told the story. But yeah, it was the whole time jumping back into between each party and seeing what their adventure was like. It was so well done, man. I love this show so much. Yeah.
Everybody had a good story. Like I said, there were three different parties or three different stories taking place, and each story was engaging. You wanted to see what was going to happen with each one. So once it jumped to the other one, it's not like you were disappointed that they skipped, the one that you're interested in. It's like, oh great, now I get to see what's going on here. Yeah. Oh great, now I get to see what's going on here. So that happens all throughout the show, every single episode. So you're never really disappointed or bored with anything.
Yeah, most definitely.
But I want to kind of piggyback on that comment you were saying about how, the world building on this. In sci-fi, I've never seen anything that goes this deep into the ecology of an alien planet. Like nobody does that. I mean, you might see it sometimes. The closest thing maybe that I can think of off the top of my head, and it's not even a close second, is Avatar. Those Avatar movies that came out, because you get to see this, this world and all the life and all the fauna and blah blah blah, but you don't get to see how it works. You don't get to see how it interacts with each other. You don't get to see that, that the food chain or whatever the case may be. It doesn't get in any of that. Yeah. And in this world, it is also very alien. Yeah. Like there is no male, female. Here's the baby. And there's the cycle. Yeah. It's super weird. Like one of my favorite ones was, and at first I thought it was dumb. I thought, oh, okay, you're doing this, right? So there's that part where Sam gets stung by this. It kind of looks like this plant with these glowing pods, and he's got those 3 holes in them, right? And then it kind of creates this clone of him. And I'm like, oh, okay, so he's gonna come in, you're gonna get mixed up, he's gonna be the clone, blah blah blah. Yeah. But the whole point of it was, the best part is when they show what happens with another animal, right? Yeah. So it stings this other animal, creates a clone of the animal. The animal goes and joins the herd. Then explodes, like kills all the other animals around, and then more of the plants. Like there was also seeds apparently in that acid or whatever too, and then more of those plants grows through those. That is a fantastic like life cycle for a plant, or I don't even know if you can call that thing a plant.
Yeah.
But it's very clever. It's great.
It's the detail involved with because even when they meet that one lady, it ends up being part of the parasite, but like all the steps that she goes through to get that specific solved to cure him. Like there's the steps that she has to go to do that. There's so many layers to what this world is, and they get into all of that, man. It's the amount of thought that had to go into them putting this thing together was a lot. It's very, very creative. And I haven't seen anything like that. Maybe, I haven't read the Dune books, but I think the Dune books are really detailed
Dune's
as well.
probably would, yeah.
But man, even not
but
compared to this,
I don't even know though.
I don't know if
the world is so barren.
Yeah, I don't know if they get into it this far because this is so much detail.
Let me ask this of both of you. This might be a loaded question or an easy question, maybe. Who's your favorite character? What character do you like the most in the series?
That's a tough one.
Only one answer. If you say two, I'm gonna hit you. No, I'm playing. Whoever.
I kind of like Ozzy a little bit.
Yeah.
Just her learning. For me, like just how to like let go of control for a bit, especially when she was riding that bike in the herd, and
that's
the robot had to like tell her what to do. But in a sense, like I think just her like letting go for a moment and just kind of going with the flow of things instead of always trying to be in control of.
Yeah, for her to learn that Levi was becoming more sentient.
Yeah,
like that was a moment also that she had to go through because she was like, we need to fix you. There's a problem with you, and really, that really
not at all.
Not really a problem.
It's getting better, or she's getting better. Whatever, it's getting better.
Yeah,
when you say that like that, I appreciate. Now I can appreciate that scene more because at first I was very analytical of that scene, right?
Sure.
Like it was like, okay, you're gonna let go of your bike, and that's not how bikes work. You know what I mean? You let go of your bike, you're gonna go down.
do you have a hover bike?
Yeah, well, that wasn't a hover bike. In all fairness, it was, but I don't have a bike with like two balls.
Oh, was it? Were there balls? Okay,
There were
still like
balls.
wheels. Okay,
Yeah.
Okay, my bad.
I was trying to like think about how that worked too. Is that does that work better if it's a complete ball?
It's like BB-8, like from Star Wars. He just rolls it. wherever he needs to.
Yeah, let's not talk
big
about him.
giant ball. I don't think BB-8. The movie sucked, but that giant ball that would work right over most terrain. You think?
Rolls.
Yeah,
It had rolls.
It was heavy enough and big enough. I don't know. Anyway,
I don't know. Yeah, let's not let's not get into bike physics. But so because at first when I saw that, I was like, I get you, like, okay, you going with the flow a little bit or whatever. But when she's like takes her hands off, and then she really takes her hands off, I was like,
sure,
come on, what are you
where's
doing?
the control at?
But But then maybe that's the point of it though too. Is like for her, because she was very controlling.
Yeah.
Like even there's a part in the first episode where she's trying to chase off those weird, armored cow looking things.
Yeah.
And then like two of them are coming up right behind her, and
Levi
basically, saves her from our perspective, and she's like, I didn't need your help.
Yeah.
I'm like, it looks like you
You were
did.
about to get eaten.
Because you
or
weren't even
whatever, I don't
looking.
know.
You were sitting on your bike chilling, and
Yeah.
two of these things were coming up behind you.
Yeah.
So to me, I was like, you did need help.
Yeah.
But that's the point, though. Maybe that scene was to say, you need to start to chill a little bit, and then you're going to be okay. And that's what happened. She chills a little bit. She listens to Levi, and she was okay. So
Yeah. They do show her arc a little bit too, who she was on the ship too. Very rigid.
Very a loner. Mhm.
Yeah, not a very, very not personable person at all,
Correct.
And that actually showed a lot about who she was and who she became,
Right.
Yeah, most definitely.
What about you, man? Character? Favorite?
Man, I don't know.
You don't have to like name one.
I think tragic. I'll go with the most tragic one that I like.
Okay.
I liked Cayman a lot because he was a piece of shit and he caused all this to happen.
Yeah,
very
hate that guy.
selfish, very
hate's a strong word,
real
but
piece
yeah.
of shit, man.
Yeah.
But you do see his pain though, and I would like to have seen more what caused him to be the person that he is before he got on the ship, because obviously he had some issues. He's a selfish person.
Right.
He wasn't good for Fiona. What's her name? Fiona?
Yeah, his wife.
Yeah, his wife, and but he dealt with the most pain, I feel like, out of all of them, and for him to dive into this whatever hallucinogenic world, or like really it was like a toxic relationship with this monster, really codependent on really a drug is what it seemed like to escape, seeing all that really, I don't know, it felt real, felt very real on this alien planet, and it was kind of sad to see him devolve, because when you meet him, he's already losing his mind because he's stuck on this pod by himself.
Right. Yeah. He's probably been there for like at least 2 months.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Surviving on scraps at that point. Couldn't get out of the ship, you know?
Yeah.
And so I liked, I mean, not really redeemed at all for the whole time, but I liked his, not liked his pants, they're horrible, but
but I mean, it's good storytelling though.
Yeah, seeing him, it was really very human human to see his character. So I wouldn't say I liked him the most, but I was most interested in his experience, especially with that whatever whatever that thing was that he was with. I like that creature a lot too. That creature was amazing, man. His abilities.
Salamander panda.
Yeah,
a pandamander. That was the pandamander.
Yeah.
Part panda, part salamander.
Yeah, but it had that telekinetic ability.
That was awesome. That was cool.
That mind-altering substance too. That was so interesting.
There's an alien creature that has telepathy, essentially, or some kind of telepathy, and they use their telepathy to essentially, looks like they use it to eat.
Yeah.
To get food. They hypnotize smaller creatures. Right. The creatures bring them food, which again, that's great. I mean, you see. Not that literally, but you will see that kind of thing in ecosystems here on Earth. Yeah, where creatures will implant something in another creature, and that creature will do whatever they say. It's really crazy. There's like a wasp that stings a snail, right? And the snail will go around and like it'll carry the thing and the egg inside of it and care for it and try to. It's nuts, but that's not that uncommon. But it's very cool that they took it and they dialed it up to 9 in this world.
That's pretty wild. I mean, I was most bummed. I was bummed when Sam died. That was kind of a bummer. He was so close getting back to the ship. That bummed me out a lot.
Yeah, I was like, Sam, get up, man.
Yeah, man, you're
that close.
Yeah, but I don't know. He was starting to turn too, though.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, because it seemed like he was going to try to, put something in
Ursula. Yeah.
I think my favorite character. I know you're going to say something else. I'm going to cut you off.
No, I have nothing to say. Well, now I do. I'll find something to say now.
It's like one of those bikes again.
The science alone on future bikes. Let me explain this to you.
Let me break it down to you because I got it all mapped out. I think I did like Levi's character. I think. Levi's a robot, an automaton in a sense with some sort of artificial intelligence, but I liked the journey or that it was becoming self-aware essentially, that was very cool to see. It was very gradual. It wasn't anything where, something infected it and it became evil. Yeah. It was just some gradual thing where Levi was trying to figure out essentially what was going on with itself. Yeah. Why it did things, why it buried a wrench, why it was looking at bugs and all this kind of crazy, weird journey. Yeah. That's not the same as, maybe a person's journey or a child's journey might be in self-awareness, but it was very cool to see like this different aspect into becoming aware of yourself and your surroundings and
have feelings to
have
feel,
feelings
like
to literally be able to feel.
And
to want to make decisions for yourself, Yeah, like when Levi told Ozzy, like, I don't want to be turned off, or when I when I get turned off, I feel nothing. I don't like it. Yeah, Right. And then when later on, I think in maybe the second to last episode, Ursula wants to check.
Oh, check this
Levi, and Levi's like,
no, I do mind.
I do mind. You're not doing that to me. And I'm like, stand up for yourself.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. The arc of Levi was actually pretty great too. The way it ends too, like full circle. Like now it's creating organics.
It's reproducing essentially.
Exactly. Yeah. It was so the concept of like that fungus being able to affect this machine and turn it organic.
Yeah.
Man, that was fascinating.
Mhm.
Yeah, and that's a lot of people talking about the AI stuff, artificial intelligence,
Yeah.
with the software, that kind of stuff, and that's really interesting take on that.
Which is overhyped, everybody. So calm down, calm down, calm down. All it does is steal other stuff off the internet and put it together for you. So it's not real artificial intelligence.
Yeah, I'm not
And
using it to
all
write
the-
movies or songs or anything. So don't.
Yeah, it worked. Yeah, you would probably get sued for plagiarism at some point.
Yeah. What? So I'm just a question. What was the most devastating thing on this planet for you guys? What would you not have wanted to get attacked by on this planet?
Ooh, there's the question.
Yeah, I've been thinking about that all day.
Oh.
Yeah, I know.
Tough, right?
Because there's a lot of nasty stuff.
Mm-hmm.
What would I not have wanted to get? Yeah, it's hard to say.
It's a tough one. Yeah, I mean, I think parasites freak me out. I hate parasites.
Yeah, you can't do much about that.
Yeah.
Right.
So I was.
But there's so many.
Yeah, everything in this freaking planet is parasitic, man. At first, it was the thing that cloned itself, and then, but it didn't seem like it did the same thing to Ursula and Sam that did to the animals. So
Right,
that was
right.
fucking devastating.
Yeah.
But that lady, I think the transition from that lady, because like she seemed like a regular, like nice lady, regular person that's helping
Right,
him out,
right.
and it turns out she's an effing parasite, man.
Yeah.
That was like, oh, what an effing shift. That sucks.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that monster, I was like, dude, then that monster and how it spreads its seed everywhere, man. I was like, I don't want to go out like that, man. I'd hate to go out like that. I guess you're unaware at some point, eventually, but yeah, that was.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, and Sam was aware of what it was doing to
Yeah.
him, and he just felt this drive
yeah.
to implant that seed, I'm just going to call it,
In
in
any-
somebody else, right?
Right, and any
So,
other, and like it seems like it works in any creature too. As well.
yeah.
God, effing crazy. Yes, I wouldn't want to die with that.
I don't know. I feel like Cayman hit the most terrifying one for me. Like when I looked up online, people called it all different kinds of names, but this, what'd you call it? The salamander? What?
Oh, the Pandamander.
Pandamander.
Yeah, like
You heard it here, guys.
I don't know. I just, jeez, I can't get over that though. Because I don't know. Again, like you're saying, like it's a drug. And I just feel like the whole relationship. Yeah, just I mean, he was obviously depressed, and like I think anyone that's ever dealt with that is just like you focus on one thing, and his was work when he was on the ship, and that led to his destruction of his relationship. But then when meeting that thing when he got onto the planet, I don't know. Like it was like he was always like quite literally feeding his addiction, making that thing grow and grow.
Oh yeah.
And then until it eventually just like swallowed him. And he was just comatose inside of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like
So I don't know.
always lucid now, basically. Yeah, right. Yeah.
And that thing was so weird. Like it started off as this small little thing.
Yeah.
And it, that was a very cool moment when you see it for the first time. And he's getting ready to hypnotize a little thing to bring me some food. And this bigger one comes down.
Oh
and
yeah.
he's got to move out of the way, right, for the bigger guy. That's the pecking order. That's how it works.
Yeah.
And then when you see him get so much bigger, and he starts when he starts eating meat, was like, oh, these things are meat eaters now. Like that was like really
yeah. That was
like that was a shift,
Yeah.
I mean that's supposed to be obviously like that's how humanity
like an adaptation, like a change in the
the diet,
whatever,
right, taking in more rich proteins or more rich food or whatever. So that was, and then it got like so big so quick. So but as far as like which one, I feel like the parasitic things are the worst. I think anything that's gonna like implant inside of you is no good. Like those things that got on Ozzy. And then when she tried to peel it off, like she grabbed it and it wouldn't come off, that little fuzzball thing.
Yeah.
She grabbed it and peeled it off, but it like she couldn't like grab the whole thing, and it just kind of stuck on her.
Oh yeah.
She did kind of find this miracle,
spa.
things in the water. A miracle spa.
That was fortunate.
Fixed everything. Right. And it kind of plays into the whole thing with the series of for every. Essentially, for every action, there's a reaction. For every thing, there's another thing to counter it and deal with it. It was a little convenient. But,
yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, the most convenient, because everything else there's steps to get the solution. But
right.
That was cool though. There was a solve for almost everything. It seemed.
Yeah.
For the most part, you just had to know what it was. Yeah, but which I would never. I would have died on the first day.
Right.
Yeah.
I actually have some questions about that too, but we'll wait till we start getting to the negatives.
Okay.
I suppose, so.
Gotcha. Anything else you guys want to discuss? The positives or anything? Any other questions you guys want to pose before we get into the negatives?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, as far as like again the positives, like the world that they created. Is fantastic.
Yeah, again,
it's
nothing
fantastic,
like it, man. And it's so rich. I've said that like a million times now, but there's no other way to describe it. There's so much going on in this world.
Yeah.
And to put that together is genius.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it reminds me of like Tolkien creating his all the rules for Lord of the Rings world, and all the separate books he's written to explain those rules. It's like that, but the thought, but even like more. So I don't know. Pretty insane.
Yeah. No, I concur.
Yeah.
I concur.
I'll get into some negatives then.
Let's get into it.
I didn't really have many, so if you guys want to go.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I did.
You have any negatives or anything?
Anything you didn't like about the show?
I mean, I don't. Nothing big. No.
Yeah. Nothing big for me either. In all honesty,
negatives or nitpicks we call it.
Yeah,
it's not like a major negative. Yeah.
Nitpicks. Shoot, man. Again, like I love the show, so it's hard for me to like really pick one thing. I mean, I do wish, like, part of me wishes like Sam got a moment to like meet back up with Cayman a little bit.
Ooh, that would have been cool.
But at the same time, like I also think as sad as it was, his ending was kind of perfect.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, him like is like one of his final lines was like, "I hate this planet," but then at the same time, like admiring. Like that little creature on his hand.
On his hand, before he dies. Yeah.
So I don't know. But
that's good call.
So I don't know. It's hard for me to pick anything like super that I didn't really like about the show. But I'm actually I'm more excited about like the second season. I don't know if you guys.
Right. Yeah.
Just see where they go and like the whole like the other like the other scavengers really that what was it, Chris.
Yeah, because
Barry.
Who are those dudes, man?
Some like religious cult.
Yeah,
that's what it looked like, right?
Were they even human? I'm sure they're human, but I mean, were they human? I don't know. Yeah, who knows? Yeah.
So I mean that's about it though.
Yeah, and I do want to see more of this world. I do want to see it expanded upon, and I do need things explained, and maybe that's part of it too, because that's I think my biggest nitpick, I suppose, is. I feel like they told the whole story, but they never really explained anything, or maybe I feel like they should have done it at some point in time in the narrative, explain why this and why that. And what I'm talking about is I'm going to admit, I'm not the smartest guy in the world. I'm going to confess this to you guys. This is just between us.
Same.
Just between us.
But nobody else is going to hear this conversation? Yeah.
But my thinking is, and maybe that's just what this show is. Yeah, it's just like a sci-fi show. When I was watching it, I compared it. It was like what's his name, Bear Grylls or whatever his name is. Bear Grylls, whatever his
Survivor
name is.
Man.
Yeah, Survivor Man.
Survivor Man's the other guy.
Okay, well, him too. I don't care. I mean, it's that meets Star Trek. Yeah, right. You have like this alien world. You have the guy that can go into the world and be like, oh, I'm going to take this and take this. I'm going to tie this together. Berry. Right. I'm not going to eat this berry. I'm going to use this to get water and all that kind of stuff. And it's cool to see that in this alien world. But here's a couple things that I needed broken down to me, right? Like, one is if you're on an alien planet, I feel like I know this. Why are you touching everything? People are going around in this planet like touching all kinds of stuff. And it activates something and it does a chain reaction to something, like or whatever.
The Evan Kid Barry, he's touching everything. Like, dude,
he's not long for that world.
He got lucky because the amount of things that like he got hit that one time with the little needle. Lucky that was just the needle, man, not with something else.
I know. Be glad you just bled.
Yeah, because everything else, man, on this planet,
there is a second part to it.
It's probably
there's a second part.
Yeah.
So, go ahead. You were gonna say something?
No, I wonder if they'll ever like kind of flash back to like those. I don't know how many days exactly it was. Yeah. Those 2 months of like Ursula and Sam, because you saw like a little, like just a flash of when Ozzy landed, but like at least I don't recall like. I know Sam and Ursula.
Oh yeah.
And like how they figured out like all that stuff. Like they're just tying up plants into
bingo.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
nice guy. That was the only. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, please.
No, yeah. I was saying the same thing. Like, cause like I mean, like How were I mean, were there others that had tried different things to learn?
Yeah.
Because
Right.
like, how would you know to put that thing on your face?
Right.
And be able to breathe.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they did this.
Like, what if that was something that
Yeah.
would kill you? But like, you got lucky?
The whole short was like that too, though.
Yeah, that's what it
that
was.
the whole short,
Yeah.
So
And the short was cool because it was a short.
Yeah.
And it was okay to tell that story
Sure.
within
In
that
that
short.
isolated
it
time,
made
yeah.
sense. It was cool.
Mhm.
And then the way that even that ended, it was very cool. Like he did
Yeah.
all this just to go on this.
Just to go, yeah.
Yeah,
to-
that was
see
that was
back
so
home,
crazy.
Yeah,
That
for
was
a
so
few
crazy.
moments. Yeah, that was great.
yeah.
That was amazing. Yeah.
All of that for that.
Just
Dang.
just like a little taste of home.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was good.
Um,
But yeah, but
Yeah.
that's my thing. And if
Yeah.
that's the case, like I don't mind it,
mhm.
but I feel like it should have been explained a little bit more.
Yeah.
Because at first, when I first started watching, I thought that they were supposed to be going to this planet. Right?
Oh yeah. Mhm.
But when I think I watched the first episode again, or at least the first part of the first episode, and I don't think they were trying to go to that planet. I think they just happened to land
Yeah, they had escaped
on this planet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, and again, my thing is, especially with all the science that's been done, and again, this is me being nitpicky, and it's not that kind of scientific story. Like in Star Trek, these guys warp somewhere, and there's going to be a planet you can land on and walk, and you can have sex with a girl. That's Star Trek.
Yeah.
There's going to be someone
That's
you
the
can fall in
sci-fi
love with.
world I would be okay with. I'd live in that sci-fi
I know
world.
you would.
Yeah, yeah. I don't want to go to. I don't want to go to this planet because can't have sex with any of this stuff on this planet. It'll kill me.
It's not, I'm gonna let you go. I was going to say something. I'm not going to.
That's
Taking the
okay.
high road.
Oh, okay. I'm still in high school, so
yeah. It's your fault, man. I mean, we haven't really been like huge friends since high school. And I'm just reverting back to my high school self.
yeah, it's my fault.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah, I'm the problem. Now I'm like this every week, so yeah.
So I mean, it was that kind of thing, and so they happen to land on this planet, and again, to me, they happen to land on a planet that is, I mean, most of the planet's not going to be like this. It's an oxygen-filled planet that you can walk around on without a mask or whatever.
Yeah.
But again, I kind of, taking that into account, again, I'm not just a big science fiction guy. I'm a big science guy, right?
Yeah.
We saw
Yeah.
Neil deGrasse, right? We're
Yeah,
into that
that's
kind of junk.
Mhm.
You're a doctor.
Oh,
Yeah.
So it's all this kind of stuff. So to me, just going to a planet and being able to land there and live
Yeah.
doesn't jive. But that's not the point. I'm taking it too far. This is a science fiction story, and they
Yeah.
have a story to tell. So there was that. But again, if you're going to be able to take the leg off of creature A, and then like literally within the first like 2.5 minutes of the first episode, he has crawled into a creature to tickle something and grab something and fondle something else. Hey, don't judge this guy.
Exactly what he did.
That's
there's something
he
like
did
it.
Go
this.
back and watch
He did a little bit of- he licked his fingers.
now that's the planet I want to go to. Yeah.
All the pinching and tickling you can do it. Yeah.
Andy Cozy?
Yeah.
Someday, fellas.
Yeah, one of these days, yeah.
Someday. Come on, science.
Yeah. Catch up.
Get us there.
Catch up to our wishes,
But
man.
yeah, so he does all this stuff, and he I don't know, does whatever to get these two orbs out of this creature, right?
Yeah.
And they're basically like two flashlights.
Like for light, yeah.
Right, is what he does. I mean, that seems like a lot for a flashlight.
How'd
but,
you crawl in
who am I
there?
to
Yeah.
judge? Yeah.
What was the first time crawling in there like,
right. Did you grab the wrong thing? And he does all this stuff inside of him.
Yeah.
Where I'll keep my hands to myself, but he does all this stuff to get inside the creature, and I can't stop. He does this, he does that. The things pop out. He gets the things.
Yeah.
It's like handles.
Yeah. He grips something else, and he gets himself spit out. And then it's like, well, that's all part of the plan.
Yeah.
And again, they did that in the Scavengers, the 2016. So you can watch it on YouTube. Everybody.
Yeah.
If you just type in Scavengers 2016, you'll be able to watch it. So, I mean, I get it for that story. It's just a short story, whatever.
Yeah.
And this one, I needed some explanation as to how they knew all this kind of stuff. And if they want to establish, like, we knew about this planet. We've done we've done an in-depth research into all the creatures here and what they can do and what can blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Otherwise, like, it's like, again, like I said, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, they would have showed, I don't know, like shown other people that
exactly, that had been there and didn't make it right.
Yeah.
Trial and error.
Yeah.
There were 3 pods. I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe there was.
That's true. Yeah, maybe there were others people that were there. Yeah, there were 3 pods there.
Well,
yeah,
here's my thing though too, right?
Sure.
So there were the 3 pods, with Sam, Ursula, and then the one that was damaged, right?
Yeah.
So my thing though is, and again, they were there for, maybe they weren't there for a full 2 months. Maybe it was like 40 days.
Trying to count the dashes.
I know. So was I. I did that same thing too.
Nice.
And that's why I said it seemed like it's somewhere
close.
around 2 months.
Right.
So if it's somewhere around 2 months, a month and a half, 2 months, is that enough time to figure out all the stuff that these guys were doing? Because these guys were going to like every place they stopped along the way. It was like, I'm gonna take this, do this,
This does that.
do this. I'm gonna chop his head off. I'm gonna take his head, stick it into the ground. It's gonna grow instantly. I'm gonna take the plant that grows from that. I'm gonna twist it in half. I'm gonna give it a little
bit of a tickle. Give a little bit of a flick.
I got you.
You know where I'm coming from, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So like I said, that was another nitpick
Get some
for me.
secretion.
Yeah,
Hey.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, that's like a lot to know. And I'm sure these were capable people that were smart and were on this mission for a reason.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of that in there because I there's people that know these things because of experience or because of their minds or whatever their reasoning. They can do that kind of. I'm not that guy. I can't reason. I can't figure. I'm not a figure things out kind of guy. So no way. So like my car breaks down, it's going to a shop. There's no way. It goes in the trash. So yeah, I can't figure. I'm not that kind of guy. So, but there are people that are like that. So I see that, but also I'm sure like on the American frontier, there were things that had to get tested before you knew this was good or bad, and somebody tested it.
Right.
Sure. Yeah. So
and I would have been okay if they had established that there had been a lot of testing.
Yeah.
Because they knew a lot of stuff. Like when they grabbed the creature to stick on their face, it fits perfectly like a face mask.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever.
Yeah, how'd you figure out that was
Right in the nose.
tickling going on this planet. Maybe I do want to be on this planet.
Yeah, it's that kind of thing. And then and then in that same scene they have the balloon creature, and it's I mean there is a lot of stuff they had to know. And I saw nothing to support kind of what you're saying, that these guys would know anything about that. These guys, like Sam was the captain, so to speak, or whatever, of the ship. Ursula was a botanist, so maybe she might have studied some of this stuff ahead of time.
And to show that she had a notebook too, also.
No, she was keeping track of stuff, right. But there was way too much
a lot of trial and error on this, I'm sure.
Right.
Yeah.
And again, if that's the case, then I would have liked for it to have been established.
Yeah, how they figured it out, at least the amount that they knew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then and again, it goes back to like everybody touching everything. It's like how, like why, like if you drop me in the Amazon.
Yeah.
On Earth, I'm not going to go around touching everything.
Yeah.
What's this? What's this? What's this?
Yeah.
What's that?
You're not going to be Jack Skellington in the Amazon, right? Yeah.
Yeah. What's this?
Yeah.
I'm going to think about it as it stings me and bites me. What's this? What's this? La 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 la.
Yeah. No, I never ever want to be in the Amazon ever for any reason. So,
Right. Right. I mean, it's I'm sure it's okay. We're good.
Okay. Yeah, we're good. No, we're good. We're good.
Yeah.
But yeah. No, I agree.
So I feel like that would have been there. That should be some sort of. And again, I'm being very nitpicky.
Yeah.
But I feel like that should have been some sort of protocol. If you ever go to a planet, you're in space, everybody. If you ever happen to land on a planet that's full of oxygen, don't touch everything. Don't lick everything, and blah blah blah. You know? Yeah.
You mean to tell me that I can't lick the first thing I see on this
planet?
planet?
I signed up for this, right? Can I go?
Yeah, the first thing I do with those things is lick it.
Right. You're like, hey. I said no. All depressed.
That's all I wanted to do was lick it, man.
Yeah, so it's that kind of and again, this is nitpicky, right?
Yeah.
I mean, overall, it doesn't take away from the story. Overall, it's a fantastic story. It's not a great planet, but it is a great planet. It's the most. It may be one of the most realized planets we've ever seen in science fiction.
Yeah,
there's definitely not a lot of them,
for sure.
You know, So for that reason alone, he gets kudos.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was just a lot of stuff that that didn't jive with me. You know, there's I think the episode The Wall where they're trying to run through these things that are like, you know, they start to come together and Ursula sees something and she's like, oh, I'm gonna go look at this.
Oh yeah.
I'm like,
Come on.
yeah, what do you we're trying to live here. Let's live. Let's do that.
Because when these things close, you're gonna die.
Yeah, as far as I know, it's gonna be gone. But then she walked out of it. She had this like leaf.
The leaf thing, yeah.
I'm like, you had the leaf the whole time? Am I crazy? Did she have the whole time? Did she pick that leaf?
She brought it in there with her, I think.
Okay, so if you had the leaf and the things, and you have to worry about it's gonna get you through the walls.
I think it's just this being a scientist, probably a little bit of it, not necessarily a survivalist at that point. I mean, she's just more interested, but at the same time, yeah, I agree. I don't know.
Right? No, and I'm with you. I get it as a scientist that, and she did see something very cool. She saw this amazing. Like life cycle,
yeah,
it was a very cool life cycle.
Damn, yeah,
it was very interesting.
I had to rewind it and watch it again because I was like, that was kind of shot. I was like, what?
Yeah,
and then I had the same when she came out and it was like, I saw something amazing. I was like, I saw something amazing too. I saw it too. I was there.
Yeah.
I was like,
let's talk. Yeah. Sam's like, I don't give a fuck. Let's go.
I don't care what you saw. Yeah.
So I mean, and again, it was very cool, and you see that thing age, and like he was there. I mean,
just to do that one.
Just do that one thing. And it was like, that is what a lot of organisms, not like that, not that crazy, so to speak, but a lot of organisms on Earth are like that.
Yeah.
You know, especially when you start getting into like the Amazon, the rainforest, and all, like you'll see these kind of creatures that by our standards, like just don't make sense. You know, but they're happening. And they're real. And again, like I said, they've taken that and they've dialed it up to 9 in this series. So like I said, it's great. It's just a lot of the human stuff was like, why?
How this meet
there
back?
were a lot of whys that kept popping up. So
I see. Yeah,
that was my biggest
kind
thing.
of shied a little bit away from the science part of it at that point.
Right. Exactly. And again, maybe, like I said, maybe it's supposed to be one of those science fiction shows, but again, I feel like maybe in this day and age, you should have smarter science fiction. But you know, I can see that in Star Trek in the '60s. Yeah, you know, we're gonna beam to a planet and have an adventure. You know, but yeah, and then what was the kid's name? Barry. When Barry walks off the ship and he takes a deep breath and he's like, "It's okay." I was like, "What? What are you talking about?
You're gonna die.
What are you doing?" So, but like I said, again, I'm taking it. Maybe I'm taking it too far. You know, but it doesn't make sense that anybody that's in some sort of like, you know, planetary spacefaring situation would do these kind of like, you know, silly things.
Yeah, kind of reckless things on these alien planets. Yeah. Any other negatives before we get into some final thoughts?
Those are my biggest ones. Nobody else? Any other negatives?
Yeah, that was the only one that really stood at me because most of the show was amazing to me. I was really hooked. Even like those, I didn't really question this. Even that first episode that you're talking about when they're in the cave and stuff, I didn't question it because it was just so like I was like, whoa, a lot of shit going on.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. This is great. This is so interesting. But then like as I got into a few more episodes, I was like, how did they figure this shit out? So like that. So I didn't realize it until a little bit later. But that's really that was the big one that I questioned too.
And I think creating a world like this too, like I think a lot of people like that about Avatar, right? Like the movies that came out, like. I mean, obviously the story in Avatar is very simple. It's not very, original really, but it created this great world that people like got sucked into and loved.
Yeah.
And maybe that's kind of the same situation with this show. You know, you get sucked into it because it is so detailed.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think, man, the show like really overall is just right up my alley for what I enjoy.
Yeah, it's great. It's great science fiction.
Yeah, and like tonally as well. It's not a very happy show, but it's really heavy. It's a lot of dark themes to it, but it's very human and it's very. It's very
and there's
good.
no like evil guy waiting to do something.
Yeah,
right.
You know. You know, there's no, not really. There's no guy trying to get them.
It's just nature.
It's just nature being nature. It's just nature being nature.
Yeah, this world seemed like to me that it wasn't going to be a world that humans take over. This world was always going to be balanced, and maybe that's a reflection on the world now. There needs to be a better balance, maybe. But this show is very much so that there has to be a balance on this world for it to survive.
Yeah,
Or
right.
but I don't think,
Adapt or die.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. 'Cause you're not taking over us.
No.
No skyscrapers on my
Yeah.
in my forest.
Not
or
unless
whatever.
you go like just crazy and like level everything.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me ask one more
Mhm.
question about a negative.
Sure.
Yeah.
What did you guys think, good or bad,
Sure.
yay or nay, whatever, of Levi returning?
Like being put back together, like physically.
Yeah, like towards the end of it. Were you guys cool with it?
I
I mean, no, like I said, no wrong answers, just your take. So I'm not.
I
Trying
was
to,
I was happy that Levi came back. Like it was
Yeah.
cool that it came back. How is a question that I was wondering about.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah, agreed. Don't know how exactly, other than I think it's almost like it became like, I feel like everything's just connected in that world. So I just feel like it almost became like the planet in a sense. And so, I mean, I don't know, but it was cool for the story. So I mean, I don't have any like negatives necessarily about it.
Okay.
I still don't know exactly like the whole like end, like how it just melted away that creature in a sense. Like, it just
yeah.
made
That's
it,
right.
like,
Huh? Yeah,
the
let off
small-
that Kamehameha.
Yeah. I also,
through
yeah,
it.
as I was
true,
watching it,
actually.
yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. I don't know how
But-
it happened. Yeah.
I don't know. I think it was still cool. Because it was almost like it was reborn. It wasn't Levi anymore. Like in a sense, like, it was like its own. Like it's like when it was Ursula, like, are you a Levi like I used to be or something like that?
Oh
like,
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I said I think I used to be.
Yeah, I think I used to be. Oh yeah, because I think it really did
That's
have
true.
like kind of they did have to be reborn. Like Levi had to die to become its true self, I guess.
Right.
Yeah, in a way, because maybe it was still kind of hindered by its
Yeah.
programming.
So it had to go through its
or
own like
robotics or whatever.
metamorphosis kind of thing.
Exactly. Yeah. Maybe. Yeah. So, but how it physically came back together, I don't know why. Yeah. But yeah, maybe it's because of the planet. Everything's connected somehow. But yeah, I was wondering that same thing. Why did all
Yeah.
these animals like from Snow White come to help? Or was it Snow White? No. Cinderella? I don't know. Which
I think Snow White had a lot of
animals that came help?
helpers.
Yeah. Animal helpers.
Almost all
the
the Disney
Disney
princesses
princesses.
have
I
some
got
sort
you.
of
Yeah,
animal
yeah,
helpers.
one of those Disney princesses when they came and helped put it back together, So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so that I don't know how that happened, but yeah. Well, why did you have an issue with it, or
Yeah, my only issue. Yeah, my issue was the fact that it came back in the first place altogether. Like, I mean, I was glad to see Levi, and like I said, Levi was one of my favorite characters
Yeah.
in the show just because of the journey that it was going on. And when it was destroyed, I was like, oh well, that sucks.
yeah?
But it's gone.
Mm.
I hear you.
I think I don't necessarily like that Levi came back to save the day. Like that was kind of like the God in the machine thing. Like,
Yeah.
oh well, their last ditch effort.
Yeah,
like every other
Deus Ex Machina.
Yeah. But I do like that it became organic though. Like its overall arc, like after
Yeah.
all the crisis is over, and it's starting to like grow these new versions of itself. Like this is a creature that didn't exist either on this planet before Levi came.
Yeah.
So these new creatures are from this organic version of Levi. That was so interesting to me. So I was glad that happened. But yeah, I actually didn't really care that it came to save the day. Maybe.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Why did like the little baby Levi's look like Levi? Well, I guess maybe Levi was organic at that point, so
Yeah.
I guess it could pattern. Okay, maybe it could pattern itself like after its parents, so to speak.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking,
The
like, if
flower
it's a
and the
machine, then why would you look like the machine?
Yeah.
So
That's
to
a
speak?
good
But
point.
yeah, but that's a good point though. It's not a machine anymore. It's
Yeah.
more,
I didn't. It wasn't like more out of the world than anything else in this.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. So that actually helps, right?
Yeah.
The world
Yeah.
is so like fantastic.
Yeah, it's like that makes sense.
Stuff like
sure.
that.
Yeah.
That jives.
Yeah. Cool. So, any final thoughts before we get into our rating for the show?
I guess final thought would be I know I feel like I kind of went off with the negatives and was kind of targeting it and all that kind of stuff. But overall though, this is very unique science fiction.
Yeah.
There's like we've been saying all throughout the show, there's not a lot of science fiction shows that will get this in depth into the ecosystem of a planet, and this is a very organic, life-filled planet without a lot of human interference, with close to no human interference. So the whole planet should be just buck wild, and it was, from 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 the fungi to the parasites to the animals to the quadrupeds and the bipeds and the birds and everything else running around here was all nuts.
Yeah.
So it is still overall good. It's still interesting. Still great.
Most definitely. Yeah. So then let's get into our rating then. Drop what you're doing for sure for me.
Right on.
On our rubric.
Agree.
Drop what you're doing. Watch this show because again, nothing like this. I've never seen anything like this show in my life. I don't know. Maybe I never will. I don't know. But this show was so interesting, man. It was up as far as storytelling, tone, characters, the world building. All of it was just so so engrossing. So I love the show very much. Percentage wise, I'd probably give it like I'm sitting like at a 90 maybe.
Okay.
90, 91.
Some of the higher ones you get in a while.
Yeah, man, this is like a show that I've been clamoring for this type of show. With as saturated as superhero shows are, all with the same tone, style, action, comedy, all that kind of stuff. This is a show that I've been asking for, and I'm glad that it came out. If we can get more shows like this in the superhero universe or anywhere else, that'd be great. Just done this well with this much detail. Yeah. And it seemed like there's just there's no guide, nobody telling him what to do. It just seemed like this was just a pure show that was made, it was amazing. I thought to me.
Cool.
Yeah, what'd you guys think,
Dr. Dave?
I'd probably agree as far as drop what I'm doing. Again, I was just totally sucked in. The personal growth with all the characters really, and I don't know. I just love the honestly the theme and everything about the show, all the metaphors. I feel like, again, even though I said Ozzy, the whole Cayman thing. I don't know, just everything about it I really liked. So as far as a score, I'd probably agree in a sense, somewhere in the low 90s. I haven't felt like I had to rewatch a show like that in that quick of a time. So I don't know.
That's cool. So you wanted to rewatch it?
I definitely want to rewatch
cool.
it.
Yeah,
that's no, I'm cool with that because I know I've said this before. The first time I read the Iliad, I was like, I've never read a book before that once I got to the end, I had to stop myself from going right to the beginning and reading it all over again because it was so good. It was so engaging. So I love that.
Just in case I missed something, because I don't know, again, all the metaphors and everything, I wanted to, I don't know, I feel like the point that the artist and the writer were trying to get across just is great.
Yeah.
And that's true because you see, if you watch the Scavengers 2016, you see the skeleton of the show, right? You see the foundation for Scavenger's Reign.
Yeah.
So the fact that they were able to do that show, and it's only 8 minutes, so it's really simple.
Sure.
And that they were able to turn this into a whole a 12 episode, essentially a 6 hour ish kind of show. And they were able to do what they wanted to, I feel like, for the most part.
Yeah.
And they told something that's very unique to animation and to science fiction and storytelling, period. So it's cool. And again, I love the fact that there was no quote unquote bad guy. Not really.
Yeah.
Cayman at this point, he was a victim. What are you gonna say?
No, I agree. I Cayman, he was a victim to at least to that creature in a sense, but or his own personal demons.
Yeah, big time.
I think the creature
it's just human.
A victim to Cayman also, though. I think in a way.
Yeah, and maybe that's what happens. Towards the end of it, they're both kind of set free.
Yeah.
They're both kind of cleansed of.
It goes back to its normal self and it just scurries off.
Right.
Yeah. So there was a threat, I guess, at the end. They had to have a threat at the end, to cause a conflict. But not necessarily a bad guy,
Right. Not really. Not in your typical sense where he's twirling his mustache.
Exactly.
Shit. Yes. There's no maniacal laugh.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah.
I really would like to have seen how did the dynamic work with Cayman and Sam? At some point, Cayman said, or when Sam wasn't there and he tried to change course, I'm in charge. I really,
yeah.
I And we'll never find out, I suppose.
Yeah, that dude who changed course must have been soft, is what it was. Like,
Yeah, Kamen got in there and started like doing it,
messing with
and
it.
he was like, "Should we tell Sam? Because I'm in charge." Wait, who's in charge? Is Sam in charge?
Yeah,
maybe Sam was in charge of the ship and Kamen was in charge of the mission. Possibly, because I mean that's how it works. With some, not necessarily if you're military, but if you're, Kamen had, it was or Sam's ship, so to speak. He was in charge of the ship, and then they brought on somebody to manage flying the ship to the place or whatever.
It made it sound like it was only his job at risk for like whatever made him change course.
Dude, why would I see that's it's again, overall it's not that important, but I would have liked to have known. Like, what are you doing that you were gonna do all this? You're gonna sacrifice all this to what? Get a bonus on your job kind of thing? Or
get an extra attaboy.
Keep your job.
Keep your job?
Yeah.
Why did you what happened that you weren't gonna do it in the first place? Like, what happened that you were failing and your job was gonna I don't know. I mean, but they are gonna do a season 2, so maybe we'll learn a little bit more about this world. I don't need them necessarily revisit Sam and Kamen, because that would seem almost silly, but maybe explain the world and then that's why Kamen did ABC, because all this is happening.
It seemed
over
like
there.
he was kind of already a bit of a damaged person from the get-go.
Definitely.
He already showed, even like his past with Fiona, the whole
as far as
shit
his relationships were concerned, definitely.
But the shit with the cabin that they're at, he already seemed like he's kind of unstable of a person.
Right.
And he had some demons to deal with, and I'm sure that bled into this work and
that's my thing though. What's going on the business side of things he would have to redirect the ship.
I think he needs a win
past like an unstable star kind of thing.
It's wild. I don't know.
Cool. Maybe get ahead of time. I don't know.
Yeah. So where are you sitting on the rating, Mark?
It's on your business.
Okay.
So
moving on.
Let's end the show. Yeah. No, seriously. Yeah, I apologize.
I get it.
Cool.
I was torn about this really, because I respect all of the uniqueness and the groundbreaking storytelling that they did with this show, right? So I respect all that. But on the flip side, it's all those little nitpicks that I was talking about that was like, and again, I'm thinking like, why would you do that? 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 I feel like I said that every episode.
I hear you. Yeah.
So it's tough between how great the show is with what they're doing, and then like with all the dumb things, some of the dumb things they had the people doing. Great people, but there's no logical reason why they would do some of the things they did. So
because they're human. Humans do dumb shit. Just look at me.
Yeah, but you're dumb. So that's not.
That was really right.
Problem solved. There you go. I just figured my
That's
life
what I'm
out.
doing.
Yeah.
but see, here's just what I know. If you are, hired to do a job or to do something, if you're and again, I've done government work. I've been in the military, right? So. If you're trained, they'll try to train you not just to do this one thing, but in case some of what you do spills over into this, over into this, over into this, you have some sort of training in what to do. I feel like there's no way that they would say, hey, if you crash land on a completely alien planet that's not under our control, that they're going to say, hey, start poking everything, start touching everything, take a deep breath when you walk off the spaceship. I feel like these are like class 101 kind of things. Yeah. So, and again, like I said, I will 100% admit that I'm being too strict. Maybe I'm looking at this show in the wrong context. Maybe this isn't one of these super in-depth shows where they have every single I dotted and T crossed. Maybe I should just calm down and look at it like a decent little space adventure. You know, like again, like Star Trek. Star Trek, they'll beam to a planet and they'll start making out with people.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem wise.
But I mean, it seemed like though that everything they were doing was for a reason though. Like the beginning, like they needed to get the ship back down, so they had to charge the batteries.
I agree.
They had to go through those steps to get to being able to turn the battery into a conductor to get the ship to come back down.
Yeah.
So like this was a survival thing because they had no communication. There was no way anybody was gonna come pick them up or save them or do anything like that. So they kind of had to figure out how to survive. It seemed like.
I agree. Put on gloves. Nobody had gloves. You're on an alien planet with fungus and insects and all kinds of stuff. Put on a pair of gloves, guys.
What you're saying, your issue is the physical of them actually grabbing shit with their bare hands.
Skin on aliens.
Alien contact.
Skin on aliens. There it is.
Okay, gotcha.
Skin on aliens. That's my thing.
Okay, so do you have an
That's
issue?
my thing.
Do you have an issue with Captain Kirk raw dogging aliens or?
Yeah, it was 100% wrong, but they did it back in the 60s.
Oh, so that's why it's okay.
No,
Yeah.
it's
because it was
from looking at it logically, it's 100% not okay. It's
but that
dumb.
show wasn't
Gloves
based in.
should be in escape pods.
Yeah, you're right.
That should be. I got gloves in my work vehicle.
All right.
Okay, I see what you're saying. That Star Trek, I mean, originally wasn't really based in science. There was some science.
I mean, it was there was some. There was some definitely, but it was a space adventure.
Yeah, space
kind of
adventure
thing.
entertainment
So of course you're gonna raw dog chicks.
Yeah,
in space. And I said that in the show, like with Star Trek, they beam to a planet and they start doing whatever.
Hey man, and you get behind that in the 70s, that's sure, or 60s,
right?
Yeah, that's cool,
and even in Star Trek: The Next Generation with Picard and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, sure they've done all their homework before, but sure they would beam to a planet and start shaking hands and fall in love and all this other kind of crazy stuff. And again, that's a little bit of stop. Stop laughing. So,
Sure.
Okay,
and again, like I said, I'm taking it. Again, this is not the show to look at like you're looking at like an episode of Cosmos or something like that. Like with this kind of show, if you're that into science, take a deep breath. Yeah. And just
maybe, I see what you're saying.
That was my only hang up.
So I guess it depends on what they were trying to build the show as. Were they trying to build a show as like pure science fiction, or was it more of a science fantasy kind of show?
Right, and I thought about that too. Yeah. I don't feel comfortable calling it science fantasy necessarily.
Because it felt more sci-fi to me. But
right.
Okay, now that you actually like break it down, that makes sense. I see what you're saying.
And again, like I said, I'm just being a jerk. It's still overall it's still a good show. If you're so
you're not concerned with the why, but the application. Like put some damn gloves on.
Yeah, and stop touching stuff and don't wander off.
Yeah, stop putting things on your face.
Stop. Yeah, exactly. It's those little things. Those little things.
Stop licking stuff.
Stop
licking stuff.
Yeah, write that down, everybody.
Okay, all right. I see what you're saying. All right.
So as far as I'm somewhere between drop what you're doing and
stream it.
Yeah. Okay. Is that the next one? I never remember.
Yeah, you made the rubric too.
I know I did. I did. That's how dumb people are. So I'm somewhere in between that. If you are a science fiction person, I would say watch this show. If you're into science fiction, you will enjoy this show. You'll enjoy it.
Yeah, I'm curious. I wonder what Greg's gonna think about it. Maybe Greg.
Oh, yeah, good point.
Greg Sorber.
Yeah, we had him on the show. He's an author.
Sci-fi author. Yeah, that book. Or a series of books, actually.
Yeah, series of books.
Yeah.
So rating. I might give it a 90 after speaking with you fools. No offense.
That's weird because you usually rate everything else higher than I do. Well, not everything, but most things you rate higher than I do.
Typically I do, yeah. There might have been one or two things I might have rated. Like we're always like just complete opposites. But I might give this. I'm going to give this a begrudging 90. Okay. Because it is worth watching. It's good science fiction.
Yeah.
Overall, it is good science fiction. There's a lot of things that are, there are a lot of hiccups in my opinion, but overall, it's still good though.
Okay. Good to know. Cool. All right, we're going to end our time.
Imagine you on the planet just like...
There you go. We gotta fight this monster. Hold on.
Hold on.
Now,
I'm all like scrubbing my hands like a fucking surgeon, and I'm on the way, guys.
Nitrile or latex?
Getting on the suit. I'm doing all this shit. All this shit.
Yeah, so you'd be like Jesse Eisenberg in Zombieland. Like, hey, we want some Purell?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
I use Purell every single day.
I have a giant jug in my car.
Yeah.
Or two, actually, in both cup holders.
Nice.
One for the passenger. See, that's not considered.
Wow, nice, sir.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, right.
This guy cares. That's the reach. That's the equivalent of a reach around. Very nice, sir. Very nice. He's a gentleman.
Oh, you're welcome. All right, well, let's go ahead and talk.
You're a bad influence.
Yeah. I don't think I've been this vulgar in a long time. I feel like. Yeah, you David over here, man. David's like nothing but respectful.
Yeah,
the whole time.
I know the whole time.
Just
throw him under the bus.
All right, so that's gonna be our end on Scavenger's Reign then.
Yes.
Yeah, make sure you guys check it out. Let us know what you guys think about it.
Right.
But yeah, I am free. I love this show. I want to watch it again too as well. But yeah, cool. All right, let's get into our second to last segment. What are we into this week? I have been watching. I started watching this show called Eastbound and Down.
Oh, I've heard of that one, the baseball one.
Yeah, I didn't finish it the first time I watched it.
Came out a few years ago.
Yeah, it's pretty old. Yeah, but I never finished it. I watched the first two seasons.
Yeah.
And never back when there's no streaming and I had to buy the DVDs. So I bought the first two seasons, watched them, and then never finished it. So it's on Max. Start watching it again. It's pretty funny.
That's cool. Yeah.
A show like this probably wouldn't work. It wouldn't come out now.
Yeah,
like,
there'd
there's no
be-
way it come
yeah,
out.
yeah.
The how vulgar Danny McBride is in this show, but it's so damn
Yeah.
funny.
Everything
though.
he does is a
Yeah.
little bit vulgar,
Always,
but
yeah,
it's all funny though.
Yeah, I was even watching Tropic Thunder again the other day, one of my favorite comedies, and I watched that, and yeah, he's a piece of shit in that too.
I'll
Man.
definitely not be out.
Yeah, there's no way because like just when the first time you meet him, he's like, I got tucked up in Kim back here trying to knit a fucking sweater, and I'm trying to blow up the C4. And then he's like, super racist, man. But yeah, but I mean, I think it's funny as shit. But yeah, so Eastbound and Down it's still pretty funny.
That's
I'm watching
cool.
it again. Yeah, it still holds up. So yeah, what about you guys?
Haven't had a lot of time to finish it, but been trying to dive back into Tears of the Kingdom. So not a lot. Yep, not a lot of watching so much, but just trying to finish up that game.
So you haven't finished it yet?
No, it's too much.
Is it much more expansive than Breath of the Wild? That's what I'm hearing.
Same map, just added like a top level.
Oh shit!
More or less. I mean, but it could be more. I haven't really gone it too far yet, so I couldn't honestly tell you.
Gotcha.
But same idea in a sense.
Okay. And so it is a direct sequel then.
It
right?
is.
Or same world. Or?
You know, I'm not exactly sure. I think so. Because if you played the first one, it'll let you, like, for instance, like keep the horses you had.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know if that's just like a reward for playing the first game kind of thing. Like, I really don't know just yet. Because it does seem a little different in a sense.
Okay.
So
Gotcha.
I haven't tried to look online to see because I'd like to be surprised.
Right. Nice.
Yeah, so with that game, does that mean, like, if it is a continuation, does that mean, what's the bad guy's name? That he came back?
Ganondorf.
Yeah.
Gandorf.
Does
Is it
that mean
Ganon or is it Ganondorf in this
It's
one?
Ganon. It's Ganon, I think.
Is it Ganondorf in this one?
You're probably right. Yeah.
Because Ganondorf was the last time I remember Ganondorf was in. I mean, I haven't played all of them.
Yeah,
There's a
way
Gan-
back when.
There's a Gan and a Ganon.
I got you.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like it does seem different. Like it's almost like it set it up a little bit differently. So that's why I'm not quite sure. And it's because I started like right when it came out, but then I took a big break. So I might have to like look back at it. And, like,
gotcha.
Really know for sure, but it doesn't quite seem like a direct sequel in a sense. But again, same map and everything. So
Okay. Yeah, the thing I noticed about the Breath of the Wild is it's not story driven.
no,
Really. Yeah, it's really a lot of like running around, getting strong and doing things, doing missions. But
you could finish a story and have so much left to do.
yeah.
Yeah, man, I think that's amazing.
So now like the first time I tried to play it, I could not get into it. It took me a long time, years. And then now I recently started playing it maybe 6 months ago. And I got really into it and now I'm enjoying it. Like I'm getting the seeds and shit. I'm going to the temples and all that kind of stuff. It's actually pretty fun now.
That's always been my thing about RPGs is like once you finish you're playing in this world for like 100 hours, especially if you're playing like Final Fantasy.
Oh yeah.
And you do all this stuff and you attain all this whatever, and then you beat the bad guy and it's over. And I'm like, man, I want to run around in the wild, in the forest, and do some whatever. So the concept that they took that and realized like people want to play the game, they want to run around in this world, and they went with it. Sounds very cool.
No, see, I'm not like that. I want a story, beginning, middle, end. This is the bad guy, and then never touch it again. But now I'm starting to really appreciate what Breath of the Wild was, and now it's like, okay, I get why it's so damn good because it is pretty damn good.
Right on.
So yeah, how about you, Mark?
Let's see. I have been watching Avatar: The Last Airbender, the original series. It's always a good time.
Yeah,
I can't complain. I know there's a video game coming out soon, or maybe by the time. And you hear this?
The Netflix is a Netflix series or HBO Max series? There's another.
I want to say there was a Netflix series, but I don't know where that's at. I know we talked about it before, or slightly.
Had a ton of production issues, but now they've actually released some like images and screenshots of the actual show. So it looks pretty cool, but I still am worried about it because the original creators walked away from it. So
so that can't be good. It cannot be good. I mean, not the series cannot be good, but it cannot be good that the original
guys that created it
walked away from it that made it work.
Yeah, they're attached to be a part of the show, to produce the show, and to write and to be a big part of the show. Yeah, and they just like, no, we don't want to do this anymore because it's not what we wanted to do. And I was like, if they're
out, then
if the guys that created the show are leaving, then it's like, all right, well.
So let's see. So I downloaded a game called Little Nightmares, I think it's called.
Oh yeah.
It's cool. It looks cool. It's like you're this little creature just running around trying to hide, and I don't know what you're trying to do.
Weird monsters showing up, right?
Yeah, I'm just running around, just whatever. Okay, I'm just trying not to get grabbed, trying not to get caught, trying not to get eaten by leeches.
Right. So, yeah. I've seen some
we'll see
videos of that. I didn't want to play it.
It seems like it's almost like a horror. Kind of game, because I know once I got that game, they started saying, well, how about this, and they're all like horror games, and I'm like, no and no. So but I started playing that a little bit, so that was cool.
Nice.
That's about it though.
Is that it?
Well, I know we have some questions coming up, but before we do that, I know the holidays are coming up. And just in case you try to get me something, I don't know when this show is going to air, but just in case you try to get me something, I want to do a preemptive strike, and so don't get anything.
Oh, okay. Try to preemptive strike me.
Yes.
Oh, you actually got me a gift, man?
I did. So if you get me a gift, it's because you're trying to be like me.
Oh, dude. All right, that's great. A Patty's Pub.
Yes.
Official T-shirt.
Right.
Okay, dude. You guys that know me, I'm a big fan of Always Sunny. Well, the first 10 seasons maybe.
Yeah.
But big fan of Always Sunny. I rewatch the episodes almost every other day, maybe on my lunch. I'm trying to want something funny when I'm feeling shitty at work. Yeah, so this is great. But wow, this is a great gift, man.
Yeah.
Thank you, dude. Patty's Pub, home of the original kitten mittens.
Right. So all right. So just so we're not outdone, I don't want you outdoing me. So in case you do decide to give me something later, whatever, we say we're even. Are you one up?
Oh,
what do you say? What would you say?
Maybe we'll be even.
In that case.
Oh, okay. So you got me a second gift? Oh my gosh. Well, okay. Well, then we'll be even from last year. How about that?
That doesn't count either.
They get to keep last year.
Well, even if you did, okay, that's fine.
We
gotta get you a Geek Off the Street shirt. We gotta order some new ones. We gotta order some.
We're a little short on our thing, but
all good.
Treat yourself.
That is the unofficial motto of the show.
Treat yourself. So those guys that are tuning in now and haven't listened to our first couple episodes, when me and Mark first met at Amazon in our old days, this is a long time ago, back in 2014, 2015 maybe, old young days. We had met and we obviously connected over geek stuff. That's why we have a show now. But I took Mark to his first convention. At Wonder.
He was very gentle, very loving.
Eased him into it. Went to WonderCon, which is still probably my favorite con, I think now. And so we went there, and I was like, okay, Mark, so this is the plan. We walk through the entire con, check every single booth, and then you mark down what you want, and then you obviously you weigh it at the end and come back and get the ones that you really want at the end, especially your big purchases.
That makes sense.
And then Mark's like, okay, we're doing that. And then the second booth, Mark walks into like a booth full of swords. and buys 3 Keyblades. Right off the bat. 3 Keyblades.
No regrets.
And then like Sasuke's sword, and then one other sword. I think 4 or 5 swords in that one city. And because the guy was like, "Oh, you can come back at the end of the convention and pick them up," and you're like, "Okay,
it's even better.
Let's get them all.
Let me buy some more."
Yeah, and then so Mark bought like 5 swords in the first or second booth we went to.
I'm very weak.
Yeah, and then I was like, okay, well, I want to buy stuff. So then I bought the Master Sword, and that's still at my house, you know. I bought the Master Sword. And then that day became an all-out spending spree. Me and him bought every single thing that we wanted. Yeah.
And every time he started to look like, should I maybe, whatever, I was like, hey, are you going to regret it later?
Treat yourself.
Treat yourself.
That's what he said.
Treat yourself.
Cool. So we became friends. That's why we became real good friends by telling each other to treat yourself and buy whatever we wanted. So, man, the amount of money we spent that day was a lot.
It's disgusting.
But I still don't regret it, though.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Exactly.
That was the motto. Is that
right.
when this weekend, are you going to regret it? I was like, no. He's like, all right, then treat yourself.
Then do it. Treat yourself.
Treat yourself. Thank you, man. This is awesome, man. These
so
are
now
great
we're
gifts.
even.
Now we're super even. Actually, you might be up.
Right
Oh, wait a minute.
If that's the case.
Are we still going?
If that's the case.
It's milk and eggs, bitch. Oh, man. You guys are not familiar with Scott Pilgrim vs. the World? There's a scene where the vegan police show up to arrest Todd for doing his 3rd infraction of vegan eating.
Yeah, vegan infraction.
Yeah, he's like, well, I thought gelato was vegan.
Yeah,
it's milk and eggs, bitch.
Right. And then that's like you said that to people.
I've said that a lot. Yeah, I said it a lot. Yeah, this is great, dude. The vegan police. Ah, man. Mark, so now you're +1 on me, I think.
And that's the bottom line.
It's just for you to get ahead.
What we're trying.
That's the only reason
That's it.
You got me gifts is to get +1 on me on gift giving.
Mm-hmm.
I thought didn't we just talk about how guys don't need to give each other gifts and keep track of things?
We do, but just in case you try to get me a gift, I need to be the one that's
ahead of it.
Got
it. Okay.
Right.
Got it.
So,
well.
Yeah, depending on how episodes air.
Yeah. We'll probably come clean at the end of this all.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. When everything's said and done. So the holiday season where we're at right now.
Yeah, it's all mixed up right now. Anyway, thank you, Mars. This is awesome, dude. I really appreciate it, man. You're a good guy.
Yeah, whatever.
Good co-host. Whatever. Cool. All right, so then we're going to get to our last segment that we only do with guests. This has become one of my favorite segments.
Right.
Don't be too scared, man.
This is the baby oil scene.
So yeah, we're
turn down the lights.
We're gonna do.
You gotta glove up, right?
You know I am.
No, I'm just going raw, man. So. But yeah, so whenever we have a guest on the show, and we did this actually quite a bit at Comic-Con as well, we do a rapid fire questionnaire where we ask random questions, and you just got to answer this or that, basically. So, yeah.
No pressure.
No pressure, no wrong answers.
No pressure.
You've done great so far, so just
I'm going to stare right at you the whole time.
Yeah.
You better.
Yeah. All right, cool. You ready?
Think so.
All right, man. Star Wars or Star Trek?
Probably Star Wars.
All right, Marvel or DC?
Marvel.
Okay, Team Cap or Team Iron Man in Civil War?
Probably Team Cap.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, nice. A lot of people, man,
But maybe we don't throw in the...
I went back and listened, and I do say Civil War.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and so...
Because we'd always ask... Whenever we ask that question to people,
sure.
they
the first couple of times, like 2 or 3 people...
they typically go with Iron Man.
Team Iron Man. I was like, really?
They typically go with Iron Man.
Weird, but...
Huh.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
like,
that was weird. Yeah, that's kind of
okay.
weird. I was kind of, anyway, I don't know. Maybe we have morals.
Gotcha.
Maybe we have morals or something, guys, and our old guests don't.
I didn't say that.
If you could choose any geek universe to exist in, what would it be?
Scavenger's Reign.
I would hate to live in Scavenger's Reign.
Everything.
Fuck that, man. I can just lick everything.
No.
Yeah. I always tell people because I would I love certain shows, but I wouldn't want to live in those worlds sometimes. I want to live in the world of Dune. That just sounds horrible.
Yeah.
I mean, I go back to what I said, like the anime show I love. Like, I'd love to use like alchemy and just make stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Have a automail leg.
Yeah. Yeah. Equivalent exchange.
And turn a little girl, mix a little girl with the puppy or with the dog.
Yeah, of course.
You fucking freak.
First thing I do.
I
At least the second thing.
I do.
Make gold, make weird creatures.
Oh man, I even now have to keep skipping that episode at this point in my life.
Chimeras, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That shit is so heartbreaking, man. And this guy bought an effing toy that does that.
I'll show it
Gosh,
to you
it's
later.
disgusting.
I'll show it to you. And
Yeah.
it doesn't work. The battery died. I
battery
have
died?
no idea how to get into it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no.
I'll show it to you
It's
later.
disgusting,
Oh
dude.
my god, it's so sick.
Yeah.
brother.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Fuck that, dude. That's so disgusting. You guys are sick,
I remember
man.
watching that. I was like, my mouth was open like the whole time. I'm
Did it
like,
just happen?
there's no way I'm watching what I'm watching. I was
Yeah.
like,
It's shocking.
yeah, that was rough. No pun intended.
Yeah.
Get it? I said rough.
I got
Yeah.
it.
So,
Okay,
Fullmetal
thanks.
Alchemist is the word I'm going. You stupid. All right. What superpower would you want if you could choose?
Let's see. I know a lot of people probably say flying, but
Yeah, everyone says flying.
shoot, man. I think I go with like speed.
Oh,
Thank
speedster.
you. That's something different at least.
Yeah,
Jeez.
everyone chooses flight. Don't
Yeah.
you know that you gotta run into things, or it's cold up there when you're flying?
Yeah,
or
right.
bugs
Are
flying in
you
your face?
able to
Yeah, you're to
withstand all
handle
that?
that?
You got to take that
Yeah.
into account.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you can do a lot. I mean, you can. Run over anything essentially.
Oh,
you
yeah.
get to wherever you need to fly.
Right. Up anything, maybe if you're
So
running
you want
fast
like
enough.
flash levels?
If I could, sure.
Yeah.
if I'm choosing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We had a friend of mine, Rosie, on the show one time. We were like, "Well, what world do you want to be in?" She's like, "Oh, an Avatar world." I was like, "Oh, which station would you be in?" She's like, "I'd be the Avatar."
Yeah. It's like, oh, right at the top.
I'm like,
Okay.
you can be the best one. Okay, cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you can choose, I guess. Yeah.
I want to be the god amongst gods.
Yeah, I'd be thinking.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Do you have a Harry Potter house that you're in? Do you know?
And if you don't, what would it be?
If I do, I don't know. I don't know if I really have one. I mean, I don't want to go with like the Harry Potter, like Gryffindor or anything, but like, but I couldn't say why I'd want one, honestly.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I don't know. It's hard for me. I like to talk to snakes, so maybe Slytherin. That'd be cool.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
Why not?
Okay, this was a tough one, but is there like a made up meal or snack food in any Greek world you ever wanted to try?
Shoot. I haven't really thought. Give it like a bunch of thought,
Yeah.
but shoot, man. No, I can't really say that I do.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I know that's a tough one. So no
Yeah, I'm
worries.
trying to think of some other ones. Like,
Yeah.
I know, like you said, one of your friends wanted like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle pizza.
Yeah.
because it's so
Okay.
gooey.
Yeah, he said
Right?
that was one of the cooler answers we've gotten.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
like, a
And
cheesy
then someone
pizza.
said, was it like the meat from Dragon Ball Z?
Or
was
just
it
like a dinosaur leg.
A dinosaur
Yeah,
leg?
Where it's like a bone, and then there's the meat. They do that in One Piece a lot
Somebody
too.
said something about a giant piece of meat. Yeah, who was that? I'm trying to remember now.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
don't make it
yeah.
look so tasty when they're like biting into it.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
stuff.
true that. Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah, that's a tough one for sure. Okay. Is there an important lesson from geek culture that people can learn?
I mean, well, I don't know. With animation, I think people just always want to like think it's at least like if they're not like super into it, like they just think it's silly. But I don't know. I think there's a lot of important lessons that you can learn, especially from this most recent show that we're talking about.
Yeah.
Not like one lesson in particular, but just like try watching everything.
Yes, give it a chance. You know what I mean?
Give it a chance.
Amen. Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
Like my mom was always talking. My mom into this. She always talks about she's seen all the One Piece up to where it's at now, and she thinks there's always some great life lessons in it.
Yeah.
Big time.
And you can't discount because it's an animated series. Animation.
Yeah, I got friends that are kind of like that, and yeah, that's always my argument.
just
Like
gotta-
it's just it's another way to tell a story. Like
Another
that's what you're
media.
there for. You're telling. Yeah, what'd you say?
Just another media like
That's
Yeah.
exactly what I said, or
Yeah.
maybe I said medium, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's another way to
Just to tell a
consume
story.
a good story. Hopefully,
Yeah.
a good story.
Yeah, you might have to start
So.
getting the gum backhand.
Yeah, the gum backhand.
Yeah, that's a move. Right? That's one of his moves.
No,
right?
but I like it though. That's pretty good. Walk and start smacking people. Gum backhand. Hey, gum backhand. And they're gonna be like, okay.
Yeah. And But we've been asking like for our guests to give just any piece of advice to our audience. You don't have to if you don't want to, but if you got anything you want to say to our audience as a piece of advice, life or anything.
Oh boy, piece of advice. Don't take life too seriously.
That's a good one, man.
Amen.
That's a good piece of advice.
Yeah, it is.
Appreciate it, David.
Relax a little bit.
Yeah. Don't take it. Yeah, don't take it too serious, man.
Yeah,
for
that's
sure.
good advice.
That's great, man.
Thank you.
Good job, David.
This guy.
Yeah. Anyway, thanks for tuning into the show.
Appreciate
Thank you,
it, as
David, man.
always.
Thanks for coming
Yeah,
on,
man,
man.
of course.
This was
Yeah,
free.
Thanks for letting me inside.
Yeah.
Eventually. That's not a lie, guys. He's not making anything up. They're outside shivering when I found them.
But yeah, it was great having you on, talking, man. Even just catching up with you has been a long time. But also, yeah, it's cool having you on the show, man.
That's cool.
This
Very
is fun.
good.
But yeah, I guess that's pretty much it, huh?
That's it, baby.
Yeah. Next week we're talking about shit.
Yeah, what are we talking about?
Freerin, I think. We're talking about Freerin next week. The elf show. Yeah,
Are we?
the elf
Okay, yes.
anime.
wait.
Freerin, the Journey Lost.
I've seen it on
Beyond
like
Journey's End.
Yeah, I haven't started it though.
Yeah, so we're
Yeah,
covering
I've
that
seen
that.
next
Not too
week.
bad,
Yeah. Actually, man, at the end of the month, we're going to be covering a handful of animes. I think the next 3 or 4 weeks. We got Jujutsu Kaisen's ending, Spy X Family season 2's ending also, and I think part 1 of season 2's ending, and then Tokyo Revengers I think is also ending. So we'll be covering a lot of anime, man. If you're in town,
Yeah.
Yeah, catch up on a little bit of that, but sure.
Yeah. Same here.
Yeah.
Same here. I got to start
Yeah,
watching.
I'm wondering how much you're going to catch up on, Mark, because you haven't started any of those shows.
Don't you worry about it.
I
Don't
will
you
worry about it because I'll be the one on the front porch.
Listen,
waiting for you to
waiting for me to
as we're
finish
watching
watching.
it.
Listen, I'm always on time. That's my guarantee.
On time to
Yeah, I'm lying. I'm not on time for anything. Everyone at work's like, oh, he's full of shit.
Yeah.
Everyone, like in my family, oh, he's full of shit.
Yeah.
You guys outside just a little while ago, he's full of shit. I'm never on time. That's my.
I'll find that hide key one day.
Yeah.
I walk outside. This guy is literally like hanging from. I turn the corner. I'm like, what's happening?
That's been great. But yeah, maybe we'll have to have you back on, man, one of these days. Talk about some anime. Then I know
dude.
you're a big anime fan.
I appreciate
Yeah,
it.
whenever
Thank
you want to get away.
Oh, thank you
Yeah,
for
anytime
having
you
me.
want to come on, dude. I'll send you the schedule. You can jump on whenever you want.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, for sure.
Awesome.
Cool. But otherwise, that's
Yes.
it, huh? We did it? Yeah, cool. All right. Well, thank you guys for listening. As always, we really appreciate it. All our shorts go up every day. Videos come out once a week, and audio comes out once a week as well. So you guys can catch us everywhere. I mean, we appreciate you guys listening to us. It's a big deal for us.
We appreciate it.
Yeah. But otherwise, as always, my name's Trent.
And my name is Mark.
And I'm David.
Yes!
Yeah, Roy.
And this has been
Geek Off the Street. Danny, what's up?
Hey, Danny. Good guy.
Yeah, he was in town. I meant to mention
Oh,
that.
yeah. That guy.
Oh, Dan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Danny's my high school friend.
Oh, yeah. He's a good guy.
Yeah, he's cool.
He's a little bit of